Eesh, week 8 is officially the middle of the course, so congratulations, you made it halfway through. But it's also when we start turning up the heat. So, because now we're getting into some of the more serious technologies, like Internet of Things. It's a major, it's going to be a major component of the future. Transportation and logistics, the whole driverless, cars that fly, cars that drive themselves, cars that, automated logistics. That whole thing is going to, drones. It's going to revolutionize planetary health and planetary ethics, megacities, mega solutions, blockchain, machine learning, quantum computing, nanobots, robotics. I mean, and then the longevity, which is tech versus death. So, and then finally closes with China. So yeah, there's now we get into the real meat, the real meat of the course. So congratulations on making it halfway there. And basically, IoT. And once there's a professor called Sanjay in MIT, and he teaches IoT. He's one of those in MIT they've invented half of the stuff that we're learning here. So sort of was there at the beginning of the whole concept of IoT, the creation of even the name, no? And he doesn't call it Internet of Things. He says it's confusing. He calls it intelligence of things. And I don't know if I still have the video, because I remember that the video that I had of him giving this particular bit of information, I think it got deleted from the internet, unfortunately. But he would say, think about the light in your room, no? And you ask it, there's a switch, you click your switch to turn on and off the light. And he says, think about a child, a 12-year-old child, and you bring the 12-year-old child to the room and you say, I want to move the switch to another part of the room. And how do you think this works? And so how should we do this? And the kid goes, well, easy. The switch connects via Wi-Fi to the light, so you just move the switch, and it's, as long as it's within the Wi-Fi area, you can put it in this room, anywhere in this room, or in the next room, or in the, or on your phone. You don't even need to put it in the room. Like, you can do whatever you want with the switch, no? And the adult goes, no. You're so inexperienced and so ignorant. Let me tell you how it's done. We break the wall, then we break the ceiling, and we put new cables in, and then we patch everything, and boom, that's how we do it. And the kid is like, why would you do it like that? And it's because, that's kind of how we've always done it. And, but yeah, why would you spend $300-400 in breaking the wall and patching the wall, and when really the only thing you need to do is have a contact that is Wi-Fi enabled, and then this light that is Wi-Fi enabled, and that's it. And so he gives that example to illustrate how it's a new thinking process. IoT is not just the creation of thousands and thousands and millions of sensors that are going to be on everything, from chairs to cars to seats to beds to lamps to windows to fridges to heating to cars to deliveries to everything. So basically everything emits a digital signature through those sensors, and gives you temperature and gives you heat and pollution particles and whatever you want to measure. And you put that sensor on that thing, whatever you want, and then it starts measuring. But it's more than that, because now with two-way communication, it becomes programmable and it becomes designable. So if you put the lights on the Wi-Fi thing that the child basically said, and you have them on your phone, well, now you can program different light patterns, and now you can turn them on and off at certain times, and now you can maybe put different color light bulbs in, so that you can create a whole luminous environment that changes over time, and maybe even changes based on your how you feel and if you're in the tone of your voice, and so all of a sudden it becomes intelligent, it becomes smart. And that's what this is about. So Internet of Things, we're talking about that homes on average, now that you have your computers, and if you had the computer, phone, tablet that you have plus laptop, on some of the more higher income families in watching this video right now, you probably have 3 to 4 devices each, and if you have a family of 4 or 5, you have 20 devices in the house, and plus the air conditioning. Maybe you have it on Nest, and maybe you brought some new cool things that you connect to the lights, and so maybe you have 25 or something like that, 30. We're talking about going above 100 in the next few years because of IoT. 100, 150 connected devices in each house, all draining Wi-Fi connection bandwidth, and all sending constant little bits of pieces of information. Like if you put a sensor on a window, all of a sudden it creates, it gives you the temperature of that window. And you might not think, like, why would I want a freaking temperature of a window? But if you live in a place that, it has very big variations of temperature. And actually, here in Mexico, we don't really care about thermal, because most homes don't have like air conditioning, they don't have heat. But if you're in Canada or Europe, or like where you spend a lot of money on air conditioning, a lot of money on heat, you start managing and tracking that. So you're putting on every single window, and you're seeing, and you're managing, and you're changing windows to different materials so they can become better thermal barriers. And then you're changing, and you're doing all sorts of things in order to basically become more energy efficient, or whatever efficiency that you want to gain. So that's the Internet of Things. Good luck, and obviously this is all enabled thanks to 5G. 4G would allow, I think it was 20,000 devices per square kilometer. 5G, in addition to being 100 times faster, allows for 1 million devices connected per square kilometer. So it's the 4G to 5G is not just a change in speed, it's a change in paradigm, it's a change in thinking of connected devices. So 5G, if you're not into 5G, and the 5G adoption curve is typically a decade. So if you think that 5G started rolling out at the beginning of the 2020, 21, that means that there's still going to be 4Gs and 3Gs all the way to 2030, and that means no connected devices, because those protocols are not going to support the density of connected devices that the world is moving to. So this is one of those that you have to be very mindful of, and China's leading in 5G implementation, and they're putting in 5G all over Africa, and they're helping in South America, and so very interesting to follow Huawei, follow some of these big 5G players, because T-Mobile in Europe and in the US, and 5G is going to make a huge difference. So if you're on your phone somewhere and you have like 4G or 3G, oof, no, and you also have to check your modems in your house, because the thing is that even when they upgrade to 5G, the devices, that doesn't mean your modem is 5G. So there's a whole protocol for 5G enablement, and there's so you'll be able to see the evolution of all the different modems, but you need a modem that supports the latest technology as well. So and 5G is also where the cable companies and the phone companies finally collide. No, it's going to be a huge battle, because they're going to be able to give you a puck, just a puck, and a little modem, and that's going to be your 5G modem. And that's going to be able to power your entire house. So all those cables that you see in the street, those thousands of cables, from Telmex and all these, wired things, and the other cable providers, from Televisa to everybody, like EC and things like that. All those are cable based. And now, if you look at the new 5G modems, they are wireless. They do not connect, and at least the ones in the US. So it's funny, the other day, a friend of mine received a 5G modem, and he literally connected it to the wall, to the cable, and I was like, dude, you don't understand, right? This doesn't work that way. It's wireless. And we disconnected it, and yeah, the internet was working fine. And he was blown away. He couldn't believe it. And so he said, so all these cables that I have running around the house, he's like, you can take them away. You can cut them off. You don't need them anymore. So maybe finally we get rid of all this clutter that we see in the streets. And so that's going to be something really positive, something to look forward to. But this topic is one of the foundational topics. I mean, because it's not just Internet of Things, it's industrial Internet of Things. And then you're going to see also Sigfox and a bunch of other concepts. But Sigfox is not 5G, but it's 0G. So you're going to learn about 0G as well, and we're going to debate the future of labor. So there's a lot of things packed in this week. Make sure you double down and start working harder, because we're going to start cranking up the heat. Because now you guys are really strong. With your AI muscles are getting stronger and stronger. You've made it this far, so now let's start hitting. And we started running, and now we're going to start galloping, and then we're going to close on sprinting the last 3 weeks. Going to be the toughest. But yeah, I'm sure you guys can handle it, so good luck. If you have any questions, let me know.